and let us all do we can to build a better future.
It is with a heavy heart that has come to my attention that an activist and a fighter for Medicare for All, 80 Barkan, has passed away. His wife posted on his Twitter account today, "Hi all, this is 80's wife, Rachel. I'm devastated to share the news that 80 has died from complications with ALS. You probably knew 80 as a healthcare activist, but more importantly, he was a wonderful dad and my life partner for 18 years. Look, obviously, this is horrible for the family. This individual here has been a huge critic against the current system that we have for healthcare in this country. We need to improve our system greatly, not only for people like him, but also for others. Richest country in the world, and we don't have Medicare for all. Richest country in the world, and we can't take care of our people. So I just want to go ahead and pull up this article here because now, of course, all of the politicians and tributes are coming out. You would think these politicians, if they actually gave a damn, would actually fight harder, but no. A wave of tributes honoring healthcare activist 80 Barkan is pouring in from lawmakers after he died Wednesday from complications from ALS, a terminal neurodegenerative condition, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. Be a Hero, a political organization he co-founded in 2018 to push for healthcare reform, announced Barkan died Wednesday from complications due to ALS, which he was diagnosed in 2016. After his diagnosis, he became a national advocate for healthcare reform and to argue that healthcare should be treated like a human right. Now, as I push forward in this article and we start talking more about it, the typical crowd of politicians are going to be pouring out saying, "Oh my goodness, he was a great individual, great person." Hey, Democratic lawmakers, politicians, you do realize that you had it within your own power to make sure that there would at least be an attempt or a fight, or dare I say it, implement Medicare for all. But because we have money in politics, because we have politicians who don't give a damn, because we have politicians who like to talk and talk and talk and talk, but never do any action whatsoever. Up until his death, 80 spent his days working with Be a Hero team of staff and volunteers to stop health insurance corporations from gouging Medicare and denying patients care, and fighting to make it possible for people with disabilities and older adults who need home and community-based services to get the care they need, surrounded by the people they love. Barkan had testified in a congressional hearing in 2019 to express support for Medicare for All, a progressive healthcare proposal that aimed to restructure the U.S. healthcare system. Initially, he endorsed Senator Elizabeth Warren in the 2020 Democratic primary, but later endorsed President Biden, despite his concerns that Biden did not support Medicare for All. He also endorsed and supported Senator Bernie Sanders. I don't know why the article is ignoring Bernie Sanders here, not defending Bernie Sanders because, hey, Bernie, again, we need Medicare for all. We do. And then, of course, Barkan later interviewed Biden on healthcare policies and also spoke at the 2020 Democratic National Convention. In the past, he has also worked with and supported Senator Bernie Sanders. Here's what Bernie posted on social media. Barkan was an inspiration to us all. There are very few people in this country who have done more to make healthcare a human right. To honor his life, let's dedicate ourselves to completing his work. There was a thing that took place in 2021 in which progressive lawmakers could have fought for, forced to vote, but they didn't. The Progressive Caucus said in a statement that the progressive movement lost a hero. Chairwoman Pramila Jayapal said in a statement, her heart breaks today to hear about the passing of 80, adding that he accomplished more to his too short life than many do in many lifetimes. And then, of course, you got Katie Porker. But here, this one's a kicker right here. Former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, paid her tributes to Barkan, calling him a dear friend. We are heartbroken by his passing. No one worked smarter to advance the principle that health care is a right, not a privilege, said Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, Nancy, Mama Bear, Nancy Pelosi. They give out words. I want to play this video here of Barkan discussing and talking with Biden. This is a tweet way back from 2020. PodSave discussed the Barkan endorsement and played an incredible moving clip of Biden describing what Bo would say if he were alive today, but not the clip of Biden telling a dying Medicare for All activist that he doesn't support the policy that would save millions. Remember, Bernie Sanders and everybody else went to bat for Joe Biden. Let's play this video.
It's no secret that I support Medicare for all.
I don't.
Had to pause it there. That's the president of the United States. By the way, all these politicians, Democrat and Republican, have gold-plated health care.
It's no secret that I support Medicare for all.
I don't.
And that I endorsed Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders in the primary.
Both good people.
But you won the nomination and I respect that, and I am fully committed to beating Donald Trump.
I know that.
Throughout the Democratic primary, you made clear your opposition to single-payer, Medicare for all, and you have won the nomination. But in recent months, 20 million Americans have lost their jobs and many have lost their health insurance with it. Democrats overwhelmingly support Medicare for all. And it's especially popular among young people. And even your friend, Barack Obama, said recently that it is a good idea.
So what we're seeing here is an attempt, or maybe a push, and of course this was done in 2020, to reason with somebody like Biden. Now, Biden is a Democratic establishment shill, just like Nancy, just like Premier Jayapal, just like Bernie Sanders, just like Elizabeth Warren. All these politicians, all what they do is talk. Notice they never really do anything.
Democrats aren't just running on good old ideas, they're running on good new ideas, like Medicare for all.
So my question is, do you see a future where health insurance is no longer tied to employment? Will America ever have a single-payer system where health care is guaranteed as a human right?
Healthcare guaranteed is a human right, but taking away the right to have a private plan if you want a private plan, I disagree with.
Now, that's our president, 2020, isn't it? What was it an interesting, innocent year? But I want to pull up a comment from Debbie Dabbs on our live stream chat. We can't afford healthcare, Hardlands Media, because we're paying for it in Ukraine and Israel. That's why we don't have Medicare for all. And not to mention, look, these corporations, their CEOs have to earn a profit. All right. And I get it. Hey, listen. I get it. Everybody likes to make a profit, but boy, oh boy, these corporations, our healthcare is intertwined with them. And if you get fired, you lose your job, the company goes under. Bye-bye healthcare. Bye-bye. It goes away. Richest country in the world. And we don't have Medicare for all. One bad day. And you lose it all. One of the leading causes of homelessness is, again, medical bankruptcy.
I disagree with. There's three things that I propose that we can do, and we can do it quickly. I support a public option as well. We can get a public option passed, and we can get it passed quickly.
He's lying there because the Democrats had a supermajority when Barack Obama was president and Joe Biden was the vice president. By the way, again, let's talk about Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act, called Obamacare by Republicans, is really Romney Care, which is something that came out from the Heritage Foundation. Democrats could have put in a public option, and look, there's no such thing as perfect, but they didn't do it. And every time Democrats say that they can get it done, it's usually during an election year. Like your abusive ex-partner telling you, oh, they promise they won't steal money from you. They promise they won't slap you around. They promise that this time things will be different. Only if you take them back in. Only if you vote Democrats back in. Then they'll fight for you. They don't.
Number one. Number two, I propose spending almost $1 trillion to make sure that people can get a gold plan on Obamacare, subsidizing anyone who wants to get in with a gold plan. Number 3, providing for the option to have home care paid for and elder care paid for.
Did that happen? Did that happen at all? Everyone, hold on. I'm confused. Did that happen? Type 1 for, yeah, kid, Biden followed through with his promise. Politicians never lie. They care about the people. Type 2, no, we're once again left holding the bag. We can't have Medicare for all because we got to pay for it for Israel and Ukraine. Simple as that. I didn't know Israel and Ukraine were the 51st and 52nd states. Isn't that interesting?
Not as part of Medicare, as just a basic right. It's an absolute basic right. And so I believe we can do all the things you want to do and do them better, more quickly than with Medicare for all.
That's a lie. Hey, vote blue no matter who. The president that you said was going to return the soul back to America back in 2020 was lying to a dying Medicare for all activist, and he has passed away. And what did all these politicians do? You think they're going to immediately do an emergency session of Congress, get the Senate and House representatives together and say, hey, this time we got to do something. We got to do something for the people. Medicare for all. No, they're not. They're just going to tweet, and say thoughts and prayers. Isn't that special?
But we have the same goal because healthcare is a right, not a privilege. It should be a right, not a privilege.
Vice President, I hope you understand this issue is personal for me. This isn't abstract or theoretical. When I say I'm a Medicare for all advocate, I hope you understand it's because I've spent hours on hold with my insurance companies when they won't cover the cost of my care. It's because I've had to sue insurance companies when they tell me I need to pay thousands of dollars out of my own pocket for the cost of full-time care. And I have a great private insurance plan. I understand what you are saying about keeping private plans, but I guess my question is, what does preserving private insurance really do for people?
It depends on the plan. Look, you know what my bills were for my hospitalization? Were $280,000.
But Biden, stop pretending you're broke. Even in 2020, my God, the cognitive decline was out there. Oh, world's smallest violin, Biden, you're not in debt. And if you are, how come you and Hunter are spending all that money? What are you doing with all those little insider deals and trades that you're doing? Don't come at us poor folk, us poor people, us working class people, and say, oh, yeah, I'm President Joe Biden, a career politician who gladly said on the Senate floor that you would prostitute yourself to corporations. That what? Oh, $208,000. Guess what? There are Americans who are stuck paying that bill. They will never be free of it. Private healthcare insurance industry has a huge lobby interest in Washington, D.C.
I get it, man.
Oh, he gets it.
I'm not new to this. I'm not where you are. But I get it. I fully get it.
Oh, you do.
The cost of my sons were well over $1 million. That's why we have to do the additional things, like making sure that home health care is covered.
A good person has passed away. But these politicians aren't going to do a damn thing to help out. This man here spent a good portion of his life fighting for Medicare for all, fighting for us. And these politicians, and many more like them in Washington, D.C., have done everything they could to systematically just placate people with feel-good words and statements. Enough is enough. We need to fight for a better future. We need to fight for Medicare for all. Dare I say, hey, we got to start fighting for Medicare for all at the state level. Enough of this. Enough relying on Democratic politicians. They're only going to say things we want to hear. They're liars. They're professional liars. And this man not only had to do an interview with Joe Biden, but throughout the entire interview, that 3-minute, 17-second clip, Biden's just lying to him. He's not fighting for us. Biden's not going to fight for a gold plan health care for the American people. Nothing has fundamentally changed. And until Americans wake up to the fact about who these politicians are and the fact that they have gold-plated health care, all of this will still continue on, and we can't have that. Condolences to his family and friends. The fight is still ongoing, but do not expect these politicians to be an ally, because they're not.